All right, guys, this is Mobile Gamer Nerd, and we are back with God's Raid. Yes, so I have been getting a lot of comments about this game just randomly over, the last week or two or whatever. And I know a lot of people are struggling with this game and having trouble with it in the early game. And I'm not gonna lie, I've restarted so many times in this game just because I didn't get it. And the last account that we just did, the one that we got our mythic and all that, I was looking at it and I was trying to like kind of pick it apart and see what that account was missing that you would need to do to make this game a little bit easier because I was struggling in not hell in hell mode, I believe. We were in hell now, right? Or did we beat hell? Yeah, we just beat hell on that account, I believe. Or maybe we were in hell. Sorry, we were just getting into hell. And it felt like we just weren't progressing enough. And I don't think it was because of building rares or not building rares and all that. I think it was literally just because we weren't choosing the correct things to make our team stronger. So this is an account that is, let's just take a look at the event, 7-day blessing. See, we are literally on day 5. All right. So we've only been playing for 5 days on this account. All right. And I took all my knowledge from that account and kind of put it into this one. And so far, it's been way better, like just insanely better. Now, I talked about this in the last video, about the early game stuff and all that. So basically what we did is we just kept one legendary, all right? So we kept one Lego, and that hero is the Orc Swordsman, all right? We chose him because he's really strong DPS, and that's kind of what we're looking for. Now, what we were trying to do is slow the bosses down because we don't want them to get any attacks, all right? And that was great for using the God right here, God, we're using her, Scathy. Now we did actually get a couple more pieces of her, and she's been doing really well. We leveled up her divinity here to level 3, and now she has a 26 speed reduction, which is nice. All right, so that was the first thing. Second thing with gods was Poseidon. We built him up and we put him on our Orc Swordsman because he has this attack and he has accuracy and he gives them a barrier at the start of the fight, so that way he doesn't die when he rushes into the big group of enemies. So that's the other thing we did. And then we didn't get Ares yet. All right. And Ares is a big part of beating things quickly. All right. He is insanely good for it. However, because we didn't get him, I mean, Scathy actually helped me in this game way more than Ares did, which is surprising to me because 200% attack is insanely good. So, but Scathy has actually helped me beat bosses because now, because I don't have that extra attack, I'm slowing the bosses down so they're not healing up as much. They're not using their skills as much. They're not hitting me as much. So that's good. Then we're also using Nike. I'm trying to level a few gods that are low level that can really help my account. So she actually has a favor that increases crit rate, and that is really helpful because crit rate is very hard to come by. I've said this in the last video. And she increases the attack of the one hero by 150, soon to be 200 once we level her up. And then we've got Mr. Mimir, we're also leveling to try to get a god up to a higher level earlier on. And he increases our crit rate right now by 1200. Once we level him up to 20, we can get that up to, I think, 14. So yeah, we're going to get a lot of crit and a lot of damage out of these guys. Now we did just get Artemis. Literally just got her this morning, and she is now my replacement for the other heroes that I was using. I was originally using the gods Anubis on my healer, and sometimes I would switch to Hela if I needed someone to do a little more damage and I didn't need as much defense, okay? But Anubis was really good for keeping my team alive without wasting a lot of magic points. She uses 4 magic points, so I can get a shield up in the middle of the fight without having to use Poseidon to keep my team alive. So that was just like a defensive thing. I haven't leveled him up. He's literally just there to give me a shield for a fight where I might have trouble in like an early wave. Otherwise, I don't really use him anymore. And Hela is good because you can pull out those little skeleton guys, and it'll help you do some damage with your healer, which is nice. But what we did was we switched out her, and we put an Artemis on my damage dealer, who's a ranger. All right, my mage. We'll show you in a second. We put Scathy on my tank, obviously, and we switched over Nike onto my was it swordsman, the human swordsman guy, and then we put Mimir onto my healer. Now the accuracy actually helps with her because she has poisons and stuff, so that's kind of cool. So that's great. So we've got crit rate on my healer, and then we've got Poseidon on my main damage dealer. Now let's look at heroes. All right. Now what I did is I've been leveling up my heroes pretty evenly, just so you can kind of see the difference in EXP. All right, my swordsman is only 3-star. We're slowly getting him up. I'll probably have him to 4-star today, but he's at 3-star right now, and he's still pretty strong. Like, don't get me wrong, he's real strong. We've got him with 5,000 attack already on the 5th day, which is nice. And we have some really cool trainings actually on him. We did get an attack speed plus 30%, which is nice. And we've been slowly working our way into some of the skills. I got a couple of crap shots here, so we'll probably reset him eventually and save this. But yeah, we kept that for now. We did put Null Chief into the battle as our tank. As you can see, he's starting to get his gear together. We are going to start working on accessories pretty soon. Not right now, but pretty soon. Right now, I'm focused on leveling. That's the only thing I care about in the first, in the first week or two, is just getting my team leveled up to max. That is all we care about. If even if you get stuck somewhere, just keep leveling, and that's it. Once your heroes are leveled, then you're going to start really hard tuning into gear and things like that, and maybe going back and fixing training, like all that. But don't worry about any of that stuff in the beginning. Don't start looking for like the best trainings in the beginning. Like, just try to get what you can, pick the best thing for them as you move forward, and that's it. Like, just that's it. Like, look at his trainings. He's got 20 block. Garbage. He's got a couple. I did do attack and crit. I've been looking mainly for attack and crit on everyone, including my tanks. All right, just to be clear. And that's because I want them to do more damage. That's the only thing that has really stopped me in this game, is when you get stuck on a tank and you just can't beat the freaking guy, and that's it. So we're focused strictly on attack. And most of your skills on most heroes will actually focus on attack. His not so much. So when we rebuild him and everybody else is built perfectly, we'll probably go back and change Null to be more defensive, like HP and block and all that stuff. We'll probably reset him and do that. But that's just where he's at right now. As far as Spear Knight, awesome hero still. I love this guy. I loved him in the first round. I'm going to love him this time. Him, we basically focus same thing. We got some crit rate. We got some accuracy, crit and accuracy. Look at this, all crit rate and accuracy. Every single time I got one, I pulled it. All right, and then we went into my girl, my not my girl, my little dark mage that I love so much. His trainings are basically the same thing: attack, crit, accuracy. He has poisons, so you want him to be able to land those. So accuracy and all that stuff is good. We want to have any attack speed is good on any hero, really. And then my mummy sorcerer, who's way better than I thought, by the way. I didn't think she was going to be that great, but she is pretty good. We have some attack on her, some accuracy, some HP. She'll probably be more dodge. I did pull this dodge here from her, so it's fine. We'll probably put more defensive stuff on her eventually, but her skills are based on attack. So any attack stats that we can get, we do want to add those, but mostly I've been picking skills for her because we want to get her skills maxed. Now, what did we do as far as stats and building? You're going to want to focus on attack, all right, and you need combos that work. So Null Chief is your tank. All right. Now, what Scathy does, all right, info, let's look at, you got to do this with each hero. She has defense for beast heroes, and she has crit resist. Perfect for a tank, all right? And she slows everyone down. That's why we comboed her with Null, all right? Because we want him, he's going to be up front the whole time. He's always going to be up front, and he's always going to be next to whatever enemy is probably attacking you, especially a boss. So he slows them down no matter what. He's always going to be there. He taunts, he lowers attack. Great. That means the boss does less damage. They're slowed by 26%. And he's going to take most of the damage because he has a taunt. All right, so perfect stuff. Swordsman. We put Poseidon on him. Why? Because he's got the extra attack, 27% now. He's got accuracy, so he's going to land his hits and be more accurate. And he has the shield so that he doesn't die when he runs into the battle. All right, that's a good one for him. Also, interesting enough, the god has attack, HP and HP regeneration. So he has plus 478 attack because of this god. So that's something important to look at. All right, you need to make sure you're picking the right gods for the right heroes. Now that we have Nike, all right, on my Spear Knight, once again, she is also attack, HP, and HP regen. So now he's got another 145 attack. Plus, he gets the 150% attack for 12 seconds. It only costs 2 magic points, so you can use it often. And he gets 14% crit rate. Perfect for an attacker. He may need to be a little more defensive later on just because he's always in the fray, but hey, it is what it is. Artemis. She is so good. I cannot wait. I just got her and I can't wait to up her divinity. But we put her on my mage because he's a ranger. This is actually a really cool hero in the sense that it's good for every ranger. There's no faction thing that you have to worry about. All right. You literally will get your attack power by 20% just by being ranged. So it doesn't matter what faction you're in, doesn't matter what hero you're using, as long as they're ranged, they're getting attacked. And then they're also getting accuracy. So she is a great, great god. And she has attack speed, and HP regen. So you're going to get more speed and more attack out of your hero, which is perfect for this game. That's exactly what you want on your heroes. They want to do more damage. Now, we put that on him because he is basically an attacker from range. So yeah, that's why we put it on him, and it gives him more attack and keeps him doing more damage. Now, we got him pretty high up. He actually decreases the attack of enemies, which is nice, and he poisons them. Now, poison and bleed, which actually I think this guy does here, say if you look at this, he actually causes bleed damage. So now we've got bleed and poison on our team for 2 heroes. We've got attack down from 2 heroes. So that means we are not going to get pummeled by a lot of group heroes, all right? Because we're going to be able to lower their attack and they won't do as much damage. And anybody who kind of walks up to that middle ground where my tank is going to get slowed down, all right? So we really got to be, you really have to be like very thoughtful in this game and almost too thoughtful. I'll be honest. It's a lot. There's a lot that goes on into this game. And then we've got Mimir, who originally, like I said, we put on the other god, but because it gave defense and all that. But she does have poisons. There's an accuracy here, and she can increase the crit rate of everybody. So basically, I'm just going to use that for when I need more damage. If I still need some more defense, I will switch to Anubis or possibly even Hela if I need those skeletons for some reason, right? So that's why we did that. Her skills are really good. She does shields and she poisons as well. So now we've got 2 poisoners, 2 attack down. We've got slow. We've got crit rate. Now, the other thing that we did, and the thing that I messed up last time, not last video, but maybe it was the last video, is your masteries. All right. Now, because I screwed this up, I think now it's making this a lot easier. All right. And I'm starting to understand it a little better. This is what I'm doing this time, and it seems to be working really well. We are only going for crit. Now, crit is very hard to find on gear, at least enough to make you crit often. So what we're going to do is we are going to just look for crit on all of these masteries. We don't care what level they are, all right? So we're just going to do it. If you want to reset, I wouldn't recommend it early game. That's something I would do later on. As you can see, I have 10,000 gems because I haven't been wasting them like I wasted them last time. I'm saving them for when I actually need to reset heroes and do things that are super important late game once we are at the point where we need to start doing more improved stuff. So yeah, but we're going to go straight for crit. Why? Because now we have this 300 attack. All right. And eventually we'll have 900 attack and all of this will be crit. So look at this. We've got 390 crit extra on both of my melee heroes, those 2 dudes, Spear Knight and my swordsman. So now we have crit rate on all of them, and we have an extra 300 attack. And eventually, that's probably going to be somewhere around 1,000 crit and 900 attack from this. Okay, that's where we're starting with. If you are really hardcore and you want to try and get these all to the same color so you can get the HP, I mean, this is what 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 10,000 HP in the grand scheme of things. Does it help? Yes. Is it important? No. So we're just going to focus on the attack. That's all we care about right now. We want my heroes doing more damage, killing these tanks faster, and getting through content. As far as the God's Grace, I've been doing whichever ones I had available to me. These are the ones I've finished so far. So we have a couple. So we have 39 resist. That's really good for not getting hit with status effects. Obviously, very good. And then in Pandora's box, we did get through the 10. That was easy. All right, I just farmed one of the dungeons and got some of these pieces that I needed. As you can see, I've been doing campaign a lot, so we're basically kind of getting gear anyway. So most of this is going to kind of work itself out just from doing campaign. Now, what I've noticed is when you're farming campaign in the early game, it seems like it's a waste of time, and it almost is. But at the same time, you have to do it. But now that we're in very hard again, all right, but just so you know, with this team, 5 days in, we have completed normal, all right, and we've completed hard completely with the team you just saw, all right. They're not even perfect. They're not great. I don't have the best gear. Some of my heroes even have level 1 gear. We did complete this like 100%, and we are now working our way into very hard. In very hard, we're going to have to start leveling and building our team up to 5-star. That's really where we want to do it. Now, even when on my team that was in hell mode, I was able to farm stage 1 of this, all right, at 123 power. We've been farming this for a while. So look, we actually did some upgrades this morning. We were at about 100k power this morning. So now we're at 113, all right, with what you just saw. So just from leveling and getting our ascensions and all that, whatever, we were able to get another 13k power. And I've been able to farm this since I had about 83,000 power, all right, just to kind of give you an idea of the difference in which my old account was, where I was higher power when I started farming these things. Whereas now my team is lower power, but because we chose the correct gods with the correct heroes, it's actually working. So let's just battle this out real quick. This is the best place to farm experience when you're just starting out because it's an easy fight. It gives you reasonable experience. It gives you enough gold to actually make it worth it. You're going to get gear drops. You're going to get god potions. You're going to get all kinds of stuff just from farming this. So farming the maze is now no longer my priority unless I have an upgrade that I need to get. So if I find like Orc Swordsman and I need whatever 50,000 to do it and I'm at 0, yeah, I'll go farm the maze 2 or 3 times. You know what I mean? But otherwise, we are only going to be farming campaign to level our heroes up early game and get ourselves. We want to get them maxed. That's the goal. You want to start being able to awaken. We're using rares because they're easy to level. You can get them maxed very quickly. You're going to always have the extra pieces, and it's going to be way easier to ascend them and do everything and transcend and everything that you need to do versus trying to use a bunch of legendaries. See, as you can see, they're doing pretty well. That extra attack and the poisons and the bleeds, you're going to see them stack on this guy pretty quickly. Look at that. Poisons and bleeds and just crazy attacks all the time. He's slow as crap, and we just kill him. Boom, dead. All right. So, and we're lower power, and we've been able to do this since we were about 80 to 90K. I think it was 83,000 was when I started farming this normally. But my heroes were all level 20, I believe, or 10 or 20, I think, at 4-star when we started doing this. And I think we lost 1 or 2 fights in the auto. It was weird. Once we started getting up to 20 and a little higher, we didn't lose anymore. All right, and it got much quicker. So once we get these guys to 5-star, and we get them with their maybe another ascension or 2 here and there or transcendence, yeah, they're going to be able to farm this in like 30 seconds. All right, and then you're going to be able to level your heroes up super fast. Okay, this is the hardest part, is getting to the point where you can farm this. All right, and after that, you can literally just auto farm campaign in the morning. Just leave it on auto. All right, and then use your free refill to do the things you need to do for the day. Like go in and just, you get 100 energy for free. You can use that to just do like extra levels in whatever, or whatever the new quest is that you're trying to complete, whatever that is. All right, so we're going to try and get to this and level up Poseidon to the next star. We did also with this team on day 5, all right, just so you guys can see that it works. We are now on stage 100. We just beat that this morning, and we're working into humans and undead. Now, the only downside to the team that I'm using right now, as opposed to the human team that I was using on the other account, is that it's going to be extremely difficult to progress in these towers because we have 1 hero from every faction right now to make the gods work. All right, so that's the only downside with this. However, to fix that, what we've been doing is ever since the hero ground popped, I've been throwing my epic heroes in here. All right, we're going to slowly level these guys all up to level 2, to 2-star. All right, once they're 2-star level 1, we take them out, and we're going to start putting new ones in. So eventually I will have every epic in here while I'm building my current team. Now, the other ones that once we get maxed, that we're going to be doing, we're going to be building a few other heroes. And the fact that we're using rares is going to help us to build more heroes quickly, to be able to start working on those towers a little bit and then get through. And it also help us in the raids and stuff too, because having those extra range heroes, which is what I did, by the way, I pulled all my range heroes. So we've got Beast. All right, we've leveled her to 1-star right now. We do have transcendences for all of these guys. I could probably get most of them to 2, possibly 3 or 4 transcendence with all the pieces because I haven't been fusing a lot. All right, Ashura, definitely going to be using them. And these all have the gods that we're going to be using. So Bassett, we put on her because why? Dodge and crit rate. Really, this is why. The crit rate is nice. The dodge is also very good. I'll take it. Ashura, we put onto Orc Magician, and that's because we have crit rate and we have attack speed. So now Orc-Man, who's really good hero, by the way, is going to crit and be faster. Then we chose the other ones. We did get some legendaries here that we're not going to be using. And we got Ancient Wizard, just because I'm using all range heroes for my for the Hall of Gods. That's why we're doing this. So we're building them first, and then we'll start working on other heroes for tanks, just so that we don't die when we when we're trying to do the towers. And then he's got some cool skills. He's not terrible. We've got Hermes on him because it increases his attack and attack speed. Once again, these are secondary heroes used to help us in the raids. Then we've got Hela on Skeleton Marksman. All right, why? Well, HP and attack. So there you go. The attack is the main reason. And then we've also got this guy, Ogre Cannoneer, who we put his phone on right now. I'm not sold on it, but it has attack is increased by 12%, so he's going to do more damage. Now, we also did get another god, if you didn't notice it maybe while I was doing stuff. There's another one in here who's literally I think, one of the best gods in the game. All right. Now, we're not going to level him right now. Why? Because I don't have any pieces for him. If I can get him to 1 or 2 star, yeah, I'll do it. Is he still worth it? Yes. However, I also don't want to use him because I want you guys to see that I'm doing it with not crazy, insane heroes. All right. Swordsman, any one of you will be able to get if you just reset. That's what I did. I reset like 10, 12 times. And I restarted my whole account like 12 times. So you will definitely get Orc Swordsman if you want him. All right. The rares, every one of you will get. So that's not even a problem. Now, tier is insane. Like, I was looking at this, and I actually tried him out a couple times. He's ridiculous. So he increases the crit rate of a demon hero. So yeah, this would be a hero we would put on my mage probably. But increases crit rates by 25%. Already amazing. Increase attack speed and magic speed, 20%. Already amazing. Upon dealing a crit damage, attack is increased by 15% for 10 seconds. This effect can stack up to 5 times. Just think about that for a second. This is level 1. Like, that's level 1. All right. So 5 times 15, if you can crit, if you're always critting, 5 times 15, do the math. You're getting a lot more attack just by critting. So that's insane. And then his main skill, it makes a pact of endless battle, increasing enchanted hero's attack by 20% for the remainder of the battle. So basically, if you use this skill, you get 20% attack. And guess what? It never goes away. Never. Literally never goes away. And then what happens? He does it again. And now you've got 40% attack. And this thing stacks. I don't know how far it stacks. I've never had it go that long. But I'm curious to see what the highest it will go is. If it's infinite or if it's something else. But if it's infinite, because there doesn't seem to be an end, I'm assuming there's got to be an end. Yeah, this is going to be insane. You could literally end up just getting 400, 500% attack in a long fight. So yeah, granted the fights are short, so I doubt there's a fight that's going to last that long. So probably won't get that high. You'll either die or win. So that's kind of how that works. But yeah, we definitely love him. I'm excited to use him, but we're not using him right now. I just tried him out, and we'll eventually get to him. So that's what we've been doing as far as no, we don't want campaign. Let's go in here. What do we want? We want challenge. That's what we've been doing. Now, in Hall of Gods, we didn't care about God of War. I haven't really been doing these except for rings. And now we just unlocked 4 stars recently. So we're going to start doing Ferryman. And then we will go into Ares pretty soon. So we are going to start working on this. I'm just not doing it right now because, like I said, the only thing I care about is leveling. That's it. We don't care about anything else. Leveling and getting our gear built. Maze, we are at stage 10. Like I said, we're power 113. I can probably beat this. Let's try it. I haven't tried it yet. Let's go in here and just give it a shot. So here you go. 113 versus 144. Let's see if we're strong enough. I hope we are. This could be a big fail right now. I have no idea. We beat the other one before really easy. We don't want full. We want auto for this. We're going to do this exactly the way we normally do it. As you can see, everybody's getting slowed. See? We got a whole team getting slowed. Now, we want to get that shield up right off the bat because that'll give us time to have my mummy give us back our more shield from her skill. So there we go. Now we've got the shield. Now we want to use Artemis to smack the boss and slow her down. See? So now you got that. And mine's only level 1. We literally just got her. All right. Now we're going to increase our attack on my knight dude. And then look, boss is already dead. And then we're going to do crit rate. And now we can just kind of watch and hope for the best. There you go. We're 30,000 power less, and we just took care of that like it was a joke. So is this the team? No, it's not the team. Okay, guys. I don't want you guys to think that this is the team. All right. I'm just showing you the way to build a team. All right. So if you are using other heroes, I would still, honestly, to this day, still recommend building 1 legendary and all rares because it is the best way to get your account up. Look at this. We're level 15 in 5 days. We've been able to grind that out. Once I, do my campaign farming today, I'm probably gonna be like 16, 17 again because I'm gaining so many levels so fast that it's gonna increase my stamina and my energy. So that's really important. All right, you want to make sure that you're leveling heroes that work and heroes that make sense. Now, in here, collection heroes that you would want. All right, now if you pull Vulcan, Yeah, if you not pull him, but if you fuse him for some weird reason, I would recommend against that. But if you, we're talking early game, right? If you get him, apparently he's really good. So yeah, you might want to build him. I would put him into the practice ground for the beginning, for the early game, and just let him level naturally and do that. But he is really good. If you get this guy, where is he? Not Orc Swordsman. If you get Duke of Darkness, this guy is a, for lack of a better term, he is a effing jerk. All right, is what he is, and he is probably still, from what I've seen in the arena and everything else, still the strongest and most insane DPS in the game. All right, he is the only hero that can literally that I've seen that literally wipes out my team. Not my team specifically right now, but every team that I've ever had. He is the only one that if he is alive and he is strong and built correctly, he is going to wipe out your entire team by himself. All right, in the arena. Which means if he's that strong in the arena, he's probably that strong in the campaign. So if damage is a problem, you could just get Duke of Darkness as your main damage dealer and maybe switch out the Orc guy. Now he's demon, so Tyr would be perfect on this guy. Like if you get lucky enough to pull Tyr and you have Duke, geez, you are going to see some insane damage coming out of this guy, and he is going to probably wreck everything. So just know that he is the only one that I would probably pick over Orc Swordsman right now. There's plenty of heroes that are good. There's a lot that are decent, but as far as just straight damage and killing things fast, yeah, this guy is probably zero. There's no one better as far as I can tell. I mean, I know a lot of people think that had said like the human mage is good, and yeah, I've never been killed by the human mage. All right, this guy kills me all the time. So just know that this guy is a really good hero. So if you want to re-roll for him, that is also an option, but he is ridiculous. Um, Paladin's really good for keeping your team alive. If you want her to be the one that you use, Banshee is good, but I honestly don't think Banshee's that good for the early game. I think she is more of a late game hero where you can kind of where your team is already built and they can kind of survive on their own. And Banshee basically just enhances them and lowers the attack and damage of everything else. I would prefer using Lightning Demon over her right now because I with say Lightning Demon with my tank. 'Cause my tank can lower attack, my mage can lower attack. So her skills are somewhat useless in the beginning because it's all based on percentages. And if you don't have any crit rate, her increasing your crit rate doesn't really help, right? What is she? Is it crit rate or crit damage? It increases critical by great. It greatly increases it. But what is greatly? Like I don't know what the number is. So, but in early game, if you have 10 crit, this does nothing for you. You see what I mean? Now, if you have 500 crit or 50% crit, yeah, this is going to do a lot more for you. So later game, I think she is going to be like the number one hero to build. So I would also put her in the thing if you do pull her and you start building her early. That way you're ready to use her for later on. But I don't think she's super necessary early on. Oh look, we can summon her. Look at that. I didn't have her. And we just unlocked 50 heroes. Look at that. Isn't that great? We got our assassin. Isn't that nice? All right. I didn't see that before. Do we have anyone else we can summon? Let's look. Let's just look real quick. Nope, we don't. All right, so let's get out of here. Paladin's good. Banshee's good. Duke is good. Viking didn't really do much for me. Giant Robot and Orc Hunter, I would say, are not bad, but they're just not as good. This is a good healer. Funny enough, I feel like my mummy is better than Divine was. Divine wasn't that great when I used her. It's crazy. Monkey King is kind of insane. Death Knight can be good if you build him right. Monarch Skeleton is okay. Um, most of these legendaries are pretty good. Like Orc Chief, I don't think there's anything there. Harpy Queen's not bad, but she's not. She doesn't shine above everyone else, so I don't know if I would pick her. But yeah, out of all of them, I would say Duke. I don't know if I would pick Paladin because defense isn't as important as my starter, so I would probably just stick with DPS. So I would probably say Duke or Swordsman and go with that. Or I mean, Monkey King would be okay if you just really like him, I guess. Assassin's pretty cool. Orc Warrior's okay. Some of these are like I wouldn't build any of these guys early on. Just put them in your cooker and let them cook. Almost all the rares are kind of good to be honest, except like the tanks. I don't care about too much. My tank is probably the one that I like the most, but most of these guys are really good. I think you could do a team build. Orc Magician is really good. Priest Mummy probably work just as good. Um, yeah, I would probably just say Orc. This guy's the only one that I haven't like fully built yet that I would say is probably worth building as your damage dealer over my Dark Mage because he does AoEs and he has damage based on HP. So he's going to be really good against bosses. So that's what you want. Like he does poisons, which is based on HP. So that's why this well, it's based on attack, but it's still a time tick. All right, this guy's going to do that damage in one hit. So it really just depends on which one you like better. But yeah, all of these are really good. Anyone in here, I would just skip unless you're trying to get levels and you want to build them up just to kind of get some extra EXP to get a level. The Nexus, what do we got? So here we go. Now we got 30 more gems. Boom, there we go. Get out of here. Close this. I get it. I get it. You guys love each other. All right. But that's basically the heroes and what I would probably tell you is what you would want to do in God's Raid. Focus on one damage dealer, all right, that is really strong. All right. Get him as high as you can. Now for me, my damage dealer is Orc Swordsman. He's my main. So I put all my best gear on him. But we've got some good gear on Spear Knight because he is my secondary damage dealer as far as front line. So we are going to work on it. But look at this. He's got such crap gear and we're still able to beat these things. All right. And that's because we focused on stats. Look at that. Attack speed. All right. All the skills. We got my ring, skill multiplier, and equip skill is increased by 1. So we want that. We want to get the extra skill. Look, his main skill is at level 6 now because he's got that ring. All right. This guy, we have this, which doesn't have the skill on it, but we're going to try and get one. We did get another ring, but it's more defensive, so I may just say screw it and equip that on him because it's going to increase his skill by 2. Let me just see. Manage equipment. Let's see what that does. So 2, 2, and 3. This is the ring. See, it increases his skill by 2. So let's equip this and see what it does. So now let's look at his stats. So yeah, see? His skill is now up 2. So we have a +4 skill now with this on. So is that worth it? Yeah, I mean, it does more damage, more bleed. So that might be something to consider. But for right now, we're just going to leave this on because I like the skill multiplier. Equip. We're going to keep that for now and then decide on that later on when I level it up. But basically, just keep your epics cooking. All right, keep all your epics cooking in there for the tower later on. All right, level up your main team. That's what I've been doing so that I can gain some levels and beat things easy. And then we're going to go back once we max them to 60 and probably level a couple of these guys in campaign. We'll just throw in my best, like Orc Swordsman, we'll throw him in there and just let him just wipe the floor with that level and build these guys up to maybe 2 or 3 star. We'll see how fast it goes. And then we'll have our backup heroes. We'll start throwing our gear from my heroes here. We'll start taking their gear and putting it onto these guys, which I already started doing, I believe, on him, right? Yeah, I already started putting my old gear on this guy. So now we've got some stuff on him and he'll get stronger and that'll help us in the fights. All right. So yeah, that's where we're at on this account. That's kind of what I'm really trying to get the gist of the game and how it works and try to help you guys get through the early game because that is where I had the most trouble. And the fact that we're resetting so many times isn't because I'm like, oh, I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do. It's because I want to learn it. And every time I play through again, I'm learning again. And it's also good because now the new players will come in and be like, oh, that's cool. You get to see this. We're going to keep getting the new players in here. All right. So if you have any questions, let me know. Leave a comment below. I'm always here to answer questions. And yeah, I mean, so far this has been working really well. It's been helping me. We're in very hard. We could probably beat very hard 1 right now. Like I said, I'm trying to level and do some other stuff. That's the quest I'm on right now. Forest of Silence, very hard. We'll probably beat it today once I do my leveling. But yeah, that's it. I mean, any questions, anything I can do to help you guys, let me know. I'm sure there's things I get wrong, and that's fine. But as of right now, it looks like crit on your masteries, crit on your talents, whatever crit rate you can find, whatever attack and crit rate on your gods you can do, and any attack skills that don't take away too much magic points really help early on. That's why those gods that I use are really good because, yeah, they only use 2 points. Like she's no points, 2 points, 2 points, and 2 points of magic. So I have 6 magic points. I can get 3 skills off. All right. Really good stuff. All right. And as always, like, share, subscribe. You help the channel grow. I love it when you guys do it and it makes everyone happy. All right. So this is God's Raid. More stuff for the early game. This is Mobile Gamer Nerd. And you guys take care.